So, welcome to the webinar tonight. My name is Mike Wood. I'm going to be your presenter today, and we are going to be talking about shipping your own items and finding shipping materials free or cheap. And so I'll share some of my ideas, and if any of you guys have ideas of places that you get materials, I'll go ahead and put them into the comments or the question box there and share them with everybody. Um, I'll voice anybody's comment for that. So what we're looking at right here is a website that I put together real quickly for my cousin. He just came out with a book, and he's never shipped online. So it's kind of like working with one of my students with him here, and so I wanted to share this as an example. When they started shipping these books, which, by the way, if you like sci-fi, it's actually really good. But when he started shipping these, they were paying $5 or more to ship one of these little books. I mean, it's maybe 3/4 of an inch thick. It's not huge. It's 13 ounces with packaging, I think. And so even before the recent change on first class or on USPS shipping, this would go, pretty cheap. And so I had to explain to him, how to make the most out of that. And one of the things that I shared with Russ for his book Elsewhere, or Where Else, depending on which side you start on, was this company, EcoSwift. And I said, hey, go out there and get some mailers and labels and make your life easy. And so let's look a little bit here. EcoSwift ships free. Every item ships free. They've got quite great prices. We use these poly bubble mailers because they're waterproof. I'm not going to have to worry about them getting wet or anything. And so I went in here and just found one that I thought would fit his book. I think we were looking at, I don't think the 6x10 would do it, so I think I went to this one here, the 7¼ by 12. And you look at this, you've got no, it was a different one that we had. It was something might have been the 10 by 13 actually. Yeah, that looks right. So 100 of these poly mailers is $9.97. I mean, just crazy cheap. It's very inexpensive. And this actually, I don't think this one is the padded. This might be the other one. That might have been the difference. Is it's not the padded envelope. It's just a basic poly mailer, which again, you don't need much padding for these. For a book, or if you do need padding, you can use this one, which still is a pretty good low price. So those are a great option if you are shipping something out that just needs a simple wrapping or package around it. Their tape is a good price as well, and then as I mentioned before, their labels. Here we are. So with the labels, you've got just the basic address labels is what we use, and we do the 8½ by 5½ labels. So 2 labels per page, like that one right there. You probably can't see very well in the image, but that's actually, let's pull it up and I'll show you. There we are. So you can get 100 labels for $6.58, and again, there's no shipping charge on this. So pretty good idea there for getting shipping. There we are. So that gives you an idea of what the label looks like. So fantastic option for shipping. It's really a great option. So if you've got to buy something, labels to just stick on, or packing materials, EcoSwift is a great place to do that. I have also purchased from Uline for boxes, and so boxes are a great option out here at Uline if you want to get new boxes. Now, honestly, I haven't purchased boxes for eBay for years. I get all my boxes free. There are a number of ways that you can do that. Um, and we've got a comment here from Robert bringing this up, actually, one of my favorite places to get boxes, Walmart. And yeah, they go through so many boxes at Walmart or any other store, really. They throw these things away, guys. So you want free shipping materials, go into Walmart, go into toy stores, go into grocery stores. Robert mentioned that he went in and talked to uh, somebody there at Walmart, and they said, "Well, go check the meat department," and they said, "You can have as many as you need." And he got all the boxes he wanted. Um, I pick and choose my sizes when I go to the store now. And one of the great things about this is if I go into town for something, it's between 10 to 30 miles, depending on which city I'm visiting, outside of my area. Well, I'm going to write that mileage off because I'm going to the store to get my shipping materials. I don't have to be buying anything to call that a write off for my business. So I make that a point anytime I'm driving somewhere. What can I do to really relate this trip to the business and make sure that I'm noting that for my taxes. So Walmart is a great opportunity for picking up boxes. These boxes don't need to be blank or nice or anything, no writing on the outside. You can use any kind of box to ship. Now, I do try to stick with those that don't have a whole lot of writing. I don't use the white ones with all the colored logos and stuff on them necessarily from Walmart, but that works great. So that's one opportunity. Now, also with Walmart, a lot of the times when they're pulling things out, especially near the picture frame areas and other stuff like that that's breakable, they'll have some padding, and they'll have styrofoam in there a lot of times that I've been able to pick up and bring home and use for padding things. Uh, Sometimes you might find bubble wrap or tissue paper and stuff like that you can pick up there too. And like I say, you're going to do them a favor. You ask somebody there at Walmart, "Hey, can I have those boxes?" They're thrilled because they got to just take them and carry them into the back and put them in the compactor, the baler, and get rid of them. And so anything that they can get rid of before it goes back there actually saves them work and effort. Okay. So that's a great option. Late at night, Walmart's generally laying a lot of things out. Busy seasons around Christmas, and we've got any holiday coming up. We've got February coming up here with Valentine's Day. Things are moving fast. Back to school, a lot of things are moving fast. I get a lot of small boxes during that time for the smaller items that I do. Um, so during these holiday seasons and changes of seasons, like going back to school and stuff like that, you will see a lot more movement during the day. Otherwise, later at night is a great time to go get those boxes. Grocery stores, I've found that early in the morning is generally the best time. Christine's throwing another one out here that is great, behind stores. They've got dumpsters behind the stores. In some states, I've been told that that's illegal to dumpster dive. That's sad to me, but I guess that may be an issue, and so maybe there are certain areas where you live that you're not supposed to do that. But yeah, behind the stores, they'll often have boxes just laying out. Sometimes they'll be in dumpsters. Careful about what you're taking. Larger boxes in grocery stores a lot of times are reusable, and if they look like they fold back up and break down easy, you probably don't want to take those. We want to take the traditional boxes that have been taped up, closed, and then they've cut the tape and opened them up. Those are generally the ones that you work with. But hey, most of these stores, in fact, I would dare say any store you go in and ask them for boxes, they're going to be happy to have you take their boxes away. Now, also ask for with some of these stores, especially if you're going to toy stores or specialty stores or something, do they throw away packing material or bubble wrap? Is that something they have available? One of my favorite haunts, before I had a neighbor that gave me a lot of bubble wrap and material, that works too if you get to know your neighbors and friends and family and let them know what you're doing. If they end up with that kind of stuff that they're getting rid of or throwing out, they'll bring it to you. So I've got a neighbor that supplies me with all the bubble wrap I could ever want. So much that I've actually thought about selling it on eBay as another item, and I have no doubt that I could do that. But prior to that, I would go to the recycle bins, the big recycle dumpsters behind some of the stores and over by the schools, and where anybody from the community can bring their phone books and cardboard and packing material and throw it away to be recycled. Another great opportunity to find all kinds of different things for boxes and packing material. Okay. Now, when it comes to packing material, one of my favorite things is paper. Remember those labels I told you about over there at EcoSwift? Well, each of those papers of labels here, they come with they've got a paper on the back and then the sticker label on the front. And so you peel the stickers off. Once you've used both of those, you got a piece of paper you got to throw away. Well, we save those in a stack next to our computer. And when we've got an item that we're shipping that we don't want it to slide around, or it needs a little extra packing material, or we need a bunch of pieces of paper crumpled up to throw in there in a bigger box, we use those. So we use that recycled paper, any kind of recycled paper you can pick up from anywhere. Again, some companies throw paper out by the ton every month, and so that might be a possibility for you. Of course, whenever we receive packages from Amazon, which we receive far too often, my wife's got a Prime account, so we we get a lot of items from Amazon, and so whenever we get bubbles or packing material from there, even if it's just the brown butcher paper, we'll save that generally. We do throw a lot of that out because we have so much bubble wrap. We don't use as much of the butcher paper. I try to save some of that around to use when we're painting and stuff. We had a project the other day where I was doing some painting. We just pulled some of that out, stretched it back out, and put it on the table to protect the table from the paint. And so recycling, reusing these things is a great way to help you with your packing materials. A lot of times paper will work just fine. Even for glass or ceramic items, you wrap that several times with paper and then put crumpled paper down in the box to set it on top of, and put 2 or 3 items in there separated from each other, put crumpled paper between them, put more crumpled paper on top of them, and then if you've got a few more to put in there, you can do it just fine with crumpled paper, and it'll work quite well and keep things protected. You need a lot of it in order to do that, of course, so that's something to keep in mind. Cardboard. When you're working with, I had a student earlier today I was talking to, for example, who is selling some champagne glasses, and with items like that, you might want to do some cardboard in between them to keep them safe as well. So that's you could just cut up some of the boxes that you get and fold that around and use stuff like that. Newspaper is another one that can be used. We've got a note here from Oliver. Be careful with newspaper though. Ink can stain surfaces. So yeah, that's something to think about. If it's a surface that you don't want to get stained by the ink, then keep that in mind. I've actually used, let's see if we can get to my eBay account here. I have used, oh goodness, that's not what I wanted to see. So I've used paper, the butcher paper, as well as newspaper to help me dry out items when I'm selling sticks and sagebrush. There you go, those things right there. When it's been raining a lot or snowing and they're wet, I'll put paper in there to kind of soak up all that moisture so that they'll dry out on the trip, and they won't end up causing problems there. So paper alone, a lot of times can do a great, do things great for you. Again, with newspaper, you might want to be careful about how you use that. Okay. So a lot of options there, a lot of free materials available to you for shipping. This is going to be kind of a shorter session. We don't need to go into a whole lot of detail on this, but I want you to be aware of the opportunities. So most of us are going to the grocery store every week and sometimes daily. Most of us are going shopping for something at other stores during the week, and it's not hard to find some of these resources around us if we just open our eyes and look. And so you never have to really pay for those shipping products if you're careful about that. Now, since we are talking a bit about shipping items from home here today, one other thing I want to show you is getting a shipping scale. Where would you go for that? Well, how about eBay? Go to eBay, and that one right there is what we use. We have two of those. One's a 50-pound, one's an 80-pound. $16.59 for a scale that'll go up to 50 pounds. It's phenomenal. It works just great. Here's the 86-pound scale, $17.99. So, I've never shipped anything over 50 pounds, I don't think. And so the 50-pound scale has worked just fine for me. But those are great, and there's lots of other types out here. I have had the best luck with the Accutech. That one there that I'm showing you, it has been the best for me. I had another style a while back, and I forget what it was. It may have been one of these Sega brand. I don't know, but it had some problems. That's it right there. It was this this one right here. What brand is that? I can't quite see it, but that's one that, and it costs more, and it ended up having problems. Waymax. I didn't like it. It had some issues. It stopped working properly, and I looked up online and found other people had the problems as well. And the problems with this type of item, if they're going to come, they're usually going to come after a year, which means you're out of any warranty that there might be for it. So a lot of sellers out there for the shipping scales, and those work great. This one, this Accutech scale will do both pounds and ounces, and I think it has a grams option or something like that as well. We always do just the pounds and ounces. So there you've got a cheap shipping scale to get you in business. Cheap or free shipping materials, so lots and lots of opportunity to get this going. If you need stronger cardboard for something, let's say you're shipping a heavy item and maybe an antique item or something that really needs to be protected, and your traditional corrugated cardboard isn't going to do it, go look at furniture stores. Talk to them, look out behind their stores, and they'll generally have those heavier boxes that will work real well for you for those heavier things. So there's a quick one for you tonight with some details about shipping materials. Do we have any other questions or comments out there from anybody about other things that they've used, or questions about shipping certain items or anything like that? I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. While I'm waiting to see if anybody does have questions, I'll just give you an update on my project. Over here at Kickstarter, I've got my Viper Sharp system. That's my knife sharpener system that I've been inventing this year. And it's about ready to go. This will be the Kickstarter campaign that I will be doing. And I've just been working on it and updating it this week. And it's close. I mean, we're almost there. It's in the works. I've got everything sourced. I'm just working on getting the networking done so that I can really get a lot of people here. Just did a new video to show what's included. And so that's what I'm doing lately, having fun. And that's going to be my next big shipping nightmare, is hopefully dealing with hundreds, if not thousands, of these that I have to deal with and getting shipped out. So I'm putting them in a pretty small box so that they're compact, just enough to fit the items that I need in there, and then they will be easy to ship in a flat rate envelope or something like that. So that's what I'm planning on doing there. So I don't see any questions coming in, so we're going to go ahead and end the webinar tonight. I thank you all for joining and coming in here tonight, and come join us next week.